Alright, so I'm going to do a guide for essentially the DPS of HordeYakka, my first guide, and I've already recorded this twice, and both times it's gone terribly bad. So this is take 3, and take 3 has some music in the background. Reason being is hopefully it's going to keep all my wireless devices alive. Okay, so first of all, today I'm going to talk about add-ons. So if you're not using the Twitch app here to keep your add-ons up to date and to install them, there's something really seriously wrong with you. That the add-ons I'm going to need today, or you're going to need today, is Pawn and SimulationCraft. So I've got them both, and they're both up to date. So once those two are installed, which most people will probably have, restart your game, and in game, if you open up your character window, you're going to see, oh, I've got my wrong trinket on. You're going to see this little pawn button here and this little sim C button, and that should tell us that everything's installed. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run sim C. It's going to bring up this window, and it's going to have a string of all the gear that I'm wearing. You don't really need to understand this, and all the gear that's in my bags. So let's have a quick look at the gear that I've got on. So the predicament I'm in now, and what I'm going to hopefully try and solve throughout this video, is at the moment I wear 2 pieces of the old tier, and I have 4 pieces of the new tier. Now at some stage it's going to be better off for me to switch out these 2 old pieces for just really high eye level newer pieces. So I'm just doing something come out of the screen. Right, so if I hold down Alt, just look at all my available helms. I've got 2, which is not very good, and shoulders. And the reason being is that I've chucked all the shit in my bank. So if I go to my bank, I need to open up a spell book because that moves my character window over. So now that I've got my bank open at the same time, my game sees all of my available helms. You can see them all there, and it sees all my available shoulders. And that is exactly the same for the SimCraft app or add-on. So now I'm going to type /simc. This list of gear is just going to be massive because it's going to have all the gear in my bank, all the gear in my bags, and all the gear that I'm currently wearing. So type /simc and press Control-C, which is copy. And then what we need is we need to go to SimCraft. Now SimCraft is no longer SimCraft, it's RaidBots. So Google RaidBots, go to the RaidBots website, and this is essentially the new SimCraft. SimCraft still exists. You can still go use the old standalone app, but it's inferior to this. This is essentially the very latest version of SimCraft sitting on someone's very powerful computer somewhere else in the world, and they've given us a beautiful interface to use. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to look for my top gear. I think, yep, so there it all is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go put my cursor in here, where I'm highlighting, go Control A, which is select all, and Control V. So now I've just pasted the, I've just pasted this into here, so you can see all of my available everything. So the yellow ones are what I'm wearing, and what we're going to do is we're going to see if I can, rather than use my High Lord shoulders, if I can use these 930 shoulders, and rather than use my High Lord helm, whether I should use that helm. Now at the same time, today I noticed that there's a neck in my bags that told me it was an upgrade, so I'm going to select this neck as well because I want to check that. Okay, so this is just going to run every single possible combination of wearing that gear, like every single possible combination, and work out which is best. So it's going to tell me whether I should switch out these other pieces, this new pair of helm and shoulders. It's going to check my neck. It's going to check my neck against what I'm currently wearing. It's going to check the neck against having just the helm, just the shoulders, the helm and the shoulders. It's going to do every possible combination. Now, what you think is, well, what I'll do is I'll just tick absolutely everything and let it just run. It will just tell me my absolute best setup whatsoever. Maybe. Okay, so let's select this and this, and you see it's turned red. Basically, the combinations just get so vast that it won't do it for you. So you need to be a little bit selective. So the most you can run is 24 different gear sets. Okay, so I'm going to run this. And what I'm going to test it against is kind of my default, which is 10,000 iterations against a patchwork fight, one boss, 10 minutes long, and we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let's go find Top Gear. Hopefully the queue is not going to be too long. The queue is 41, which is not too bad. Okay, wish I knew how to pause this, but I don't. Okay, so we're going to leave that. I'm going to just drag it off screen and let that continue to run. Okay, I'll just give you a little bit of explanation about what all this stuff means, because it's going to come into play in a second when I have a look at my talents. So see here, talents 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Essentially what that is these talents 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. If I was wanting to test my AoE setup, I use these two. Fires of Justice and Divine Hammer. So my let's just type some sim. We have like, oh shit, that's not what it's meant to do. Let's type slash C. See now it says 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, which is 1, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2. So that's the new setup. Okay, so I was watching this on my other screen, so it's actually running my SimCraft is running my possible gear combinations now, and it's going to tell me if I should switch out my helm and shoulders. Nope, I shouldn't. But it is telling me currently a good gear is the top gear. Oh, there you go. So it tells me if it wanted me to swap out one of the pieces, it highlights the piece that you meant to swap. So if I swap the helm and the shoulders in, I'm going to lose 3k DPS, which is really not a lot. So I could do that now. If it was just to switch that neck in, I'm going to lose about 11k DPS. If I just swap the shoulders, that, just swap the helm, that, if I swap all three pieces, that anyway. So the gear I'm wearing now is the correct gear. So I am actually, essentially I am optimal. I just want to make sure that the neck I chose is the neck that I thought I saw that was an upgrade. It was this one here. Yeah, see it says it's a 9% upgrade. Funny that. I would actually like to wear it because it would give me so much more haste. How much haste does it give me? 29. Not enough to break into the next GCD. Anyway, so that's that. So now what I'm going to do is, at the moment, I run this setup, single target. So what I want to do is I want to check to see whether this is the best talent setup for me, single target, because sometimes the Fires of Justice is the best, because this is actually a single target talent, and this is actually multi-target, but because I use this ring, I use the multi-target one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my talents against each other. Did I actually close raid bots? That'd be a silly thing to do. Okay, let's go back to raid bots. Okay, so let's do a talent compare. I'll just paste, I still will have that stuff in my clipboard, my original setup. So my original setup is 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, which is what I can see in the background there. So what I do want to try is this setup here, the Fires of Justice setup. And what I'd also like to do is check the AoE, what I believe to be the AoE setup, which is that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, so patchwork fight again, compare talents. 35. The queue is dropping. You'll see it pumps through quite quickly. So what I'm going to do after talents is check to make sure I'm using the right talents, and then I'm going to import my new stat weights into pawn, so we can see if there's... Now pawn, I don't think you should rely on pawn 100%, because like this here is like pawn's telling me all these guys have arrows here are actually upgrades. I mean, they're all legendaries, so that doesn't really count. Like this back, it tells me it's an upgrade, but I know that if I put this back on, it's going to break my set piece, or my talent, sorry, my set bonus, so it's not actually an upgrade. And these here are the ones I just checked, the helm and the shoulders, and we know that if I break my two-piece, it's actually less DPS, so it's not an upgrade. And it says that this neck is an upgrade, but we know, because I just ran out a second ago, it's not an upgrade. Although that's, I don't know if I ran the right neck. I'm going to run that again. Anyway, so on my other screen, this here is about to run. I'm just going to check all my talents. So 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3 sets of talents. And yep, so white bring out, that's my current ones, and these are the ones I wanted to check. So if I change just Fires of Justice, it's a 13,000 DPS decrease, and if I change into the full AoE spec, it's really low. Okay, so I'm definitely using the right talent setup for a patchwork fight. Let's go talent compare. And let's compare my current setup, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. You can see it up the top there. I'm going to check it against the AoE setup. The AoE setup, but I'm going to switch it to an hectic add cleave fight. So this is what I'd say is something like Mistress. At the moment, I'm actually using this current. I'm not even speaking to my AoE. So what I'm essentially doing now is I'm going to check to see whether I'm losing a huge amount of DPS by staying on my single target spec. Now it might sound really bad, but really my single target spec is quite heavy AoE damage as well, by switching not my talents but the skills that I use while still in that same spec. So what it means is when only the boss is up, I can really focus the boss, but when there's ads up, I can still do pretty good AoE DPS. Now, I'm limited by time in these uploads to put them on YouTube. They have to be shorter than 15 minutes. So I'm going to cut this off here and then open up into part 2 when this is finished.